Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Hello. Welcome to Sunday Night Alive. So happy to see you. So glad you could take a minute today as we're on a holiday weekend. So I didn't know what to expect. A lot of people, a few people, but you're here. I can see a couple of you. So say hello to me. If you're here, say hello as I say hello to you. So that way I'm just not talking to myself in my house. So welcome to Sunday Night Alive. We come together every Sunday. It's a forum. Oh, hi, Sandy. So great to see you. It's my forum really for connecting with my community and to talk about eminently important things having to do with our spiritual expression, our spiritual living, our spiritual walk. Listen, life is not easy, and I don't even know how people do it without a spiritual undergirding of some kind. So ultimately, this is about a life of spiritual power. It's about feeling comfortable in your own skin, feeling powerful in your own life, not being too bedraggled by the comings and goings of people in your life or the world. So welcome. We're going to talk about time tonight. It's a very fun topic because second to the body. So the physical body tends to be very dense and causes us to sometimes forget that we're actually light beings. We're actually made of light. We're actually eternal, which we're going to talk about tonight. But also what trips us up often is time, because time can also keep us pretty anchored to the earth, pretty anchored to a reality that feels very real, when in fact it's not quite as real as it feels. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I'm very excited to do that. I hope you are all well. Hello, my friends. I see you. So let's take a moment. I'm going to bless us and just simply call our time, exalt our time together by calling it whole and perfect at the onset, recognizing that we come together by divine appointment, recognizing that whenever two or more are gathered, there is an up-leveling of consciousness. And above all else, I am here, and I invite you to be here to elevate consciousness, which means to awaken out of the dream of separation from life. It means to awaken to your spiritual identity, your power, your poise, your confidence, your authenticity, to stop really moving through life as a victim. And so I just bless our time. I know that it is good and very good, and that each one of us is blessed by being here, and we are a blessing by being here. And so in advance for all the good, just let it be so. And so it is. Amen. So I got my inspiration for tonight really from listening to Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith doing his work on visioning. And he was doing this thing about time, and I just was moved by it. So I thought I would just come and share my inspiration with you. Time is very interesting because it really does appear and feels very real that we live in a world that has past, present, and future. Past, present, and future. And it very much feels like they're real. Dr. Michael said, almost everyone I know they're just two tenths. And in reality, they're actually three tenths: past, present, and future. So the first idea about time, and also I just invite you really to be here trying to map this to your personal life, right? Because it doesn't really mean too much that it means something to me. I want it to mean something to you. And time is, we're confused about time because it very much in an unawakened state of consciousness, which is most of us most of the time. So it's not anything to be ashamed about, or anything to be embarrassed about, or anything to deny, that most of us most of the time are living in the world, affected by the world, affected by time, affected by the news. It's just how it is. But for the unawakened being or the unenlightened being, the one who has not yet caught their spiritual identity, we do live in time. And mostly the time that we live in is the orientation from past to future or past to present. So most of our lives, unless we intervene in some way, which we're doing here, we are intervening. Most of our lives are governed by the past, meaning that whatever your past experience has been will dictate what your present and future experience will be. And it just is simply because we're indoctrinated to who we are, to what life is, to what we believe, to how we behave, to what we think, to our modus operandi in life, where mostly that's all organized by our past experiences with our mothers, our fathers, our siblings, our teachers, our spiritual leaders. And we think that we're in the present moment or in the future, but we're really, the past, for the most part, will dictate our future. It gets projected into the future. So in our spiritual learning and our spiritual awakening, one of the first things that happens is we, through whatever way possible, make peace with our past and understand that it's not the most real thing. So our lives, your life, my life, everyone's life today is a synthesis or the sum total of everything we have been or thought or done or behaved or acted like before today. So consciousness precedes the actual outcome of everything, but consciousness precedes form. So our lives are a natural conclusion of what's come before this moment. So unless we want the moment 10 years from now to be exactly the same as this moment, something has to shift, right? Something, if we want things to change, we have to change. So the orientation to time in the New Thought metaphysics and quantum physics, the way time shifts initially is that we begin to envision a future different than the one we have. So we begin to dream about, to think about, to open up a space of possibility that can't exist until we do that. So what that looks like a little bit is we end up, if we were in a coaching relationship, or if you were in my church, we would be talking about your story and how we have to write a new story. We have to write a new chapter to our story. Because unless we do that, unless we declare something different, it will be the same, because it's just how consciousness works. So ultimately what we want to do is we want to project into the future an idea or many ideas that will come meet us in the present moment. So rather than the past governing the future, the future begins governing the present. I know it sounds confusing, but it's not really if you think about it. So we have stories we tell about ourselves, who we are, how we've been, why life got to be the way that it is. Sometimes we've had people telling us, our mothers told us who and how we were. Some of us, we have ex-lovers or ex-spouses who tell us who and how we are. And to the degree that we buy into those stories are the degree to which we begin to act them out and then create circumstances that are in alignment with those stories. So my talk really isn't about, this is not my main point tonight, but it is very important for you and I to understand that that time that we are captives, we are held captive by time to the degree that we believe in time. So Dr. Michael was talking about how time is not real in the fifth dimension. It's not real in heaven consciousness. It's not real in the kingdom of heaven. Time does not exist. Time does not exist in a spiritual reality. It is a construct that human beings, that we made up so that we can log our activity here, right? The days pass, the years pass, the months pass, we age, we age from 0 to however old we age, and that it's there for us, and not a powerful idea until we get into right relationship with it. So what my time really is tonight, the lesson tonight, is to reevaluate the term eternal. And because I would say to you, you and I are birthless, deathless, eternal beings without a face and without time, that we are energy, that we are a body of consciousness, that we are more than our human condition, we're more than our upbringing, that we are timeless. Now, when people talk about eternity, it sounds like they're talking about a really long time, right? That they're going to, that if it goes out into eternity, it's going to go out for a really, really long time. And eternity does not mean that at all. Eternity has nothing to do with time. It has to do with a kind of transcendent reality that is available to us to catch glimpses of. It's available to us to catch in consciousness this timelessness that we are. Now, you might think of it, when we talk about something that's eternal, let's do it the other way. When we talk about life as created in time by the conditioned self, we're talking about something that's always temporary, always. Conditions change when we change. Your future will change when you change. The world will change when we change. So the conditions and circumstances, people, places, and things of the world are not eternal. They change. They're temporary. When we talk about eternal, we're talking about something that does not change, that is forever in a way that gravity is forever. Like gravity is not temporary. Gravity does not change. Gravity, there's an isness to gravity that we accept, right? Right? We understand that together. 2 plus 2 equals 4 is 2 plus 2 equals 4 isn't like in time forever, like 2 plus 2 equals 4 will be that forever, though it will, but it will because it's eternal, it's changeless. 2 plus 2 will always equal 4, not a long time from now, not forever. It is what it is. 2 plus 2 is 4. Gravity is. That is actually your and mine. Our true nature is eternal, in meaning that who you are is an isness that cannot be changed by time, that cannot be altered by thought or circumstance, that cannot be changed by emotional roller coasters. That you, when I say you are whole, perfect, and complete, it's like 2 plus 2 equals 4. It is the way that it is. It's eternal. It's true. It's real. Gravity is real. Thermodynamics is real. Photosynthesis is real. Love is real. The planets, the whole cosmos is real in a way that the ego and our thinking cannot mess it up. It's just the way that it is. And so there's something in our spiritual practice that we're trying to catch in consciousness, that you are more, and you and I are more than our sad story. We're more than our circumstances have created. We're more than what we believe about our circumstances having created who we are. That when we talk about our perfection, that you are amazing and you are gifted and you are that you're not a carbon being that can be born, live, and die, that you're an idea in the mind of God. All ideas in the mind of God are eternal. God doesn't care if you're good or bad or old or young. God doesn't care if you are successful or a failure. God doesn't care if you're a saint or a sinner. God doesn't care if you're a Catholic or a Jew. God doesn't, I mean, whatever it is we're talking about, when we talk about God, we're talking about a unified field that is eternal in nature. And so how this would benefit us in life is, one, we would not take everything so seriously. It would be a more lighthearted experience if we could release our attachment to our stories, if we could forgive the people who we believe have harmed us, if we can let ourselves off the hook for all of the missteps we have ever made, if we can lean into the eternal nature of our being, we would have a deeper experience of our own spiritual authenticity. Now, we talk about another area where this comes into play is we talk about how in life we're always looking for something. We're looking for things to make us happy. We're looking for situations to bring us joy or pleasure. We're looking for things to change on the outside so that we can feel peace and calm. If you're over 20, you must have realized by now that those things are never going to, the circumstances are never going to show up in such a way that you are guaranteed happiness by them, because the world doesn't care what you want, right? The universe, I mean, really, in your deepest moment, in your saddest moment, when you're angsting against the world, I want you to go to the Grand Canyon, stand on the edge and look into this breathtaking, amazing, awesome thing and tell the Grand Canyon how miserable you are and how upset you are that your boyfriend cheated on you, or your mother divorced your father, or you were born with diabetes, or just go tell the Grand Canyon how miserable you are, and you will see that the Grand Canyon could care less. Why? Because the Grand Canyon is eternal and knows that you're eternal too, and knows that this too shall pass, and you have been and always will be the source of your own peace, your own happiness. These qualities of God are eternal like gravity and eternal like 2 + 2 = 4. It's one of the things I love about Africa so much. Everyone always asks me, what's the deal? It's like, what captivated your soul so much that you have, over the past 9 years, I have gone to Africa every year, sometimes twice a year. And why is because I just love that I can sit in the middle of the African bush and I can watch a journey of giraffe walk past me, and they don't care about me. They don't care about my story. They don't see my shortcomings. They don't believe a word I say about myself. There is just an isness, a beingness that is so exalting for me, so refreshing for me. Because like you, I have a story, right? We all have stories. I'll be 72 this year. I know some of you are a little bit younger than me, and some of you are a little bit older than me. But there is something really wonderful as you move through life when you can begin to release the attachment to the story, release the attachment to the heartache, release the attachment to the suffering, release the attachment to all the disappointments. Because ultimately, they are, if anything, if they serve any purpose whatsoever, they are for you to find your true identity. They are to lead you back home to God, the God within you, the God expressing itself through you, the same presence, the same power that created the Grand Canyon and the giraffes and the moon and the sun and the stars created you. And because of that, the truth is we are eternal. The peace within you is eternal, meaning it is not a function of circumstances or conditions. It is always there. If you want some peace, meditate. If you want some joy, make yourself some joy. And the sooner we learn this, the sooner we learn that we can stop looking for all of those things from other people or our jobs or our churches or our ministers or religion. If we can stop looking for it there, then we become givers. We become people who can simply let out everything good within us that will help to create this world that will actually work for every single person. So that's a lesson tonight. So the lesson is our spiritual lesson, which can be eminently practical if you sit with it for a little bit, is to realize that you are just like 2 + 2 = 4. You are what you are, which is perfect, whole, complete, uniquely you, and that the unique you is necessary for the evolution of all that is, just as is the unique me and the unique each other. And that our divine mandate is to express from within to without, rather than seek fulfillment from without to within. So that's our lesson for today. And I hope you can listen again and again. You can when stuff comes up, and how you're disconnected from your eternal nature, how you're disconnected from the eternal nature of life, is if you have any drama going on. If you think you're being victimized by someone, if you feel you have no power, that's how you know that you are disconnected. So just get reconnected. However you get reconnected, you can do it through nature. You can do it through a cup of tea, a glass of wine, Prosecco. You can do it through going to a church and getting with other like-minded people. There are so many ways you can get reconnected, but just remind yourself, I am whole, perfect, and complete. I am an eternal being. There is no death, no disease, all of that is so temporary, and everything will land exactly where it's supposed to land, right on time. I promise. I promise. So namaste. Happy Memorial Day weekend. It's a day of remembering our heroes, remembering those. I would love to not have a Memorial Day so that we don't have to fight with each other anymore, and we'll have no heroes to remember. But there are people who have given much to protect us and to get us to where we are in our evolutionary track. So anyway, so that is our lesson for today. If you go to my website, you can sign up for my newsletter and see past blogs and some beautiful, beautiful giraffes and lions and leopards and things like that. If you want to support my ministry financially with your love offerings and tithes, you can do that through my website as well, or through Zelle and PayPal at revdschubert@gmail.com. So that is us for today. I'm going to pray us out. I know it's short and sweet, but it's a holiday weekend, and I know you have perhaps barbecues to go to. I don't know. But anyway, I love you. Thank you for joining me. And let's turn within one more moment together. And I want you to feel the perfection within you. Just remember, see if you can remember a time when you were really happy, where you felt comfortable in your own skin, you felt joyous, you felt gratitude, you felt hopeful, optimistic. Life was full of possibility. Tap into that emotion within you, though, that feeling tone, because all of life can be more like that than suffering and pain. I've said so many times that my spiritual journey for me has it turned around the percentages. So before finding the God within me, I was unhappy most of the time, with a little piece of happiness when somebody did what I wanted them to do. And now I'm happy and peaceful 80% of the time, with only 20% needing my spiritual attention. 80% full of joy and peace is so much better than 80% misery. 20% drama is so much better than 80% drama. So please do your work. We're on the leading edge of the consciousness, the evolution of consciousness. As more and more people discover their eternal nature and the benevolence that is within them, the happier our world will be. And so as we turn within together, we connect to the God within us, whatever word you want to use for that. We feel our connection to each other and all life everywhere. And I know that it is that connection which lifts consciousness on our time together tonight, and that I speak my word for you, absolutely knowing that your ultimate fulfillment and happiness and peace is guaranteed. Ultimately, it's guaranteed that we each one will find our way back home to the truth of our being, the spiritual identity of our being. But I speak my word for you, calling it easy and without too much effort or angsting. It could shift in a moment. It's a light switch, turn the light on, and most of the suffering is gone. And so I trust that as we leave our time here tonight, that there continues to be insight and revelation. There continues to be internal divine guidance. Whatever you need to do, whoever you need to forgive, whoever you need to let off the hook, and maybe it's just you, that happens, and you move into life with more confidence, poise, power, and peace. All is well with our souls, this I know. And so for this and so much more than my words can say, we give thanks. We let this time be whole and perfect together until we come together again next week for a Sunday Night Alive. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. God bless you.